All right, guys, we're excited because on the line, we've got George Bryan, who, along with his brother Wesley, make up one of the hottest YouTube channels on the planet right now, the Bryan Brothers. But even more exciting is this recent story. George was able to participate in a PGA Tour event. He made all of us YouTube golfers proud with how he performed, and we're super excited to have him on the show. And we've got some of your questions here. We're going to ask some of the burning questions that so many of you have been waiting for. So first, George, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you here.
Jets, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to also just talk about all things golf. Last week, again, this is my main job is to create content and make YouTube videos. So I'm excited to be a part of content, and I love what you guys are doing. So thanks for reaching out and having me on.
Appreciate that, George.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you on. And I would imagine you've got to be probably still in the middle of a whirlwind here. I mean, you're just a couple of days, off of the event, but I would imagine from the media to your own personal content creation, like, what's it been like these last few days?
Yeah, it hasn't really been anything crazy. I think went on Peter Finch's podcast, and then Golf Digest, I believe, reached out, but really hasn't been a whole lot of craziness. Like, hey, come do this. We want to talk to you here. It's been kind of like business as usual, except just amplified or increased tenfold with the social stuff that I've been doing for our personal channels and trying to keep up. And but no, it really has been a while, because it's last week was the culmination of really the last 2 months of build up and anticipation. But leading into, I'm sure we'll talk about later, leading into the PGA Tour event, we have 2 rounds of Q School, and that's just the business professional side. But then we just got in the middle of a move into a house that needed renovating a little bit, so we've been kind of nomads living with some friends in that time. Then also we're my wife's pregnant with baby number 2, so like we have just an insane amount of stuff going on, all great things, but my brain, I'm a scattered brain to begin with. So like it's been something, doing it all and trying to juggle it all these last few months.
It almost seems crazy that you could still manage to play great golf with all of that
Seriously.
going on, right?
I know.
But that's, again, there's a lot of different layers we can, I'm sure we're going to talk about today, but one of the reasons I'm playing so well is, the way my brain works. If I focus too much on golf, I did it, for 3 years out of school, played terribly. But when I have something that I can take my mind off of golf, it frees up for whatever reason. I play better. 8 years ago when we started Bryan Bros, I had like a resurgence in my pro career while doing trick shots. And then, fast forward to now, I'm filming YouTube videos and creating content is, my job. But now I'm playing the best golf of my life because I have this balance that I don't have to put all my eggs into pro golf and try so hard, where I keep golf fun and as relaxed as possible. It can be out there. So it's still stressful, but like I need to be juggling things so I can, hey, let's think about YouTube videos or whatever, instead of just focusing on practicing and tournament golf. So maybe it's what I need.
Yeah. It's good to be able to multitask, I guess. But the one thing, it was really cool over the weekend and stuff to see how much attention the PGA Tour was giving your story. Mm-hmm. We saw a lot of their social media posts, but from what we see from you and all your social media, the one thing that we see coming up is this Year of the Beast. So I need you to explain this to us. Yes. Of what this is.
I don't think anyone really knows it, but it started as, I think earlier in the year, I can't remember, but like one thing I've never, and if anyone watches the YouTube videos last 2 or 3 years since we've kind of kickstarted again, I've always lacked confidence, and Wesley always doesn't lack confidence. And that's why he's so great, is he believes himself, and he's not afraid to tell people in jest, but like how his golf game is. And so I was playing decent golf, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna just be overly confident this one round or this one video and try to be like Wesley. And I'd be like, hey, Wesley, of course I'm playing good. Of course I hit the shot, pull the shot off. It's the Year of the Beast. And we've used that lightly, like, oh, I'm a beast, or in jest over the years. But like, I just was like, hey, it's the Year of the Beast. Of course, obviously I'm that good. Kind of joking around because I wasn't playing that great, or I was playing for it like decent. But it kind of, maybe the next time we play with Wesley, or he's like, "Oh, George is playing well. So you're the beast." And I was like, "Wow, it's kind of funny," because like, and we kind of made a joke about a little skit on a video, and then like people in the comments were like, "Oh, you're the beast, you're the beast," and Micah Grant kind of like egg it on and put fuel to the fire, and in some of their videos were like, "Oh, George, you're the beast. Of course he's playing good." And so one thing led to another, but it was all started in kind of jest. But the reality is, like, I lacked confidence and always, or not always have, but the last few years I really didn't believe in myself on the course. And so this was a fun way to, like, over time build up my confidence and my self-belief in my golf game, even though there wasn't really any grounds to stand on, other than just made up mantra of like, whatever, just to do it because it's fun for YouTube. But there actually is some benefit value to, like, hey, if I believe in myself and I'm confident, then I can play some really good golf. And so it started as kind of a joke, and it still kind of is. I'm not going to go around, hey, this is the year of the beast, that's why I'm playing good. It's kind of fun, but it's amazing to see all the comments on YouTube, on PGA Tour's accounts, whatever. Like, I'm playing well, it's like YOTB or you're the beast, and it's like,
Yep.
I love it because it shows me, hey, that's my people. Those are people who watch our videos. But two, it's like, it's kind of cool because it really is the real reason that I'm playing well this year. My game has been elevated because I've, for once in the last 10 years, actually believe in my golf game, my abilities out there, instead of being or doubting myself and being timid and like, oh, I'm not that good or whatever. So it's been fun.
George, where'd you find that confidence? Because last time you were on the show, you were going through, I believe you headed up to Woodmont. You were playing in the U.S. Open qualifier, and I believe you went overseas and tried the Open.
Yep, last year.
So when was it where you're like, was it just, you said beginning of this year? Was it
this year,
a particular moment or anything like, yo, this is clicking, this is working, I'm on fire right now?
It was like, it probably was like March or April of this year, maybe February, like just literally playing with some buddies. Like I said, because last year I played some decent golf, like got to the sectionals of U.S. Open. But even then, like I'd like it's sectionals, which is basically a tour event. I didn't believe that like I belonged to be there. It was almost like, oh my gosh, this is so cool that I'm here. Like, I don't deserve to be, like, my game's not good enough. I'll probably shoot 80, but like it's an amazing thing that I just made to sectionals of U.S. Open. And you saw in the results there, I shot 79, 77 or something. And again, I was playing fine going into it, but it's just that lack of confidence and self-belief that, and of course the golf course was a PGA Tour caliber, really hard course. And then, all last year it wasn't there. And then literally it was just this year. I hadn't practiced any different, not doing anything different, like physically, maybe working out a tad bit more, but like it just shows you how important the mental game is in golf and what the mind can do if you don't change anything with your physical practice routines or whatever, but just change how you think about yourself and how you view yourself and how you play the game between the years. Like, it can go a long way.
Yeah. And I can imagine for you, it's got to be a tough line to walk because some people are born with a lot of confidence and things like that. But I think what endears so much of your audience to you is how humble and relatable you are. So I think what's cool to see is so much of that confidence coming from the generation, from the audience, of having them outwardly saying the year of the that's got to be very reinforcing because I feel very similar to you and put myself in your shoes. I'm not a guy who's outwardly in any way boasting or anything like that. So if that's not your normal, kind of personality, it can be tough. But at the same time, we do know golf is a game of confidence. So you got to get it from somewhere. So it's got to feel good to be getting it from your fans and your peers.
Yeah, it's been fun because again, my dad's all like, even when I'm playing off, always like, hey, your son, you're way better than you think you are. You're great. Wife, friends, peers that I competed with, like when I was playing full time, that still, I'm still in contact. And even though I'm playing tournaments, like, hey, dude, you're really good. Like you belong. I'm like, I don't belong out. Like, no, I don't. I make YouTube. And so like everyone has believed in me and like seen my, the game and the skill that I have. And I just never like believed truly, like I kind of believed them, but I never like actually did. And so it's fun, but then, taking it a step further to the people who watch our videos, the community that, even if it's not You're the Beast, but the support they have given me, it really is. I mean, I would not have been able to play like I did in the PGA Tour event if it wasn't for the people that watch our videos and the community that we've built, to the messages, the comments, and the encouragement to like, hey, dude, you got this. You belong. You belong. And I'm like, okay, well, like, let's do this then. So it's been an amazing last few weeks, really.
It's such an incredible win-win when you see that with the creator and the community coming together for like one common shared goal. But let's speak about that goal. Now you've had a couple of days now to reflect on it. Can you tell us a little bit about it in your words? What was that experience like? A, playing in a PGA Tour event, and then B, you know, really the validating nature that it had to feel of making the cut. How was that?
Yeah, I want to know how many pinch me moments you had while you were out there.
Like 15, not even. Like, I mean, that's why I love talking about this, because again, it's what I mean. It's a not even bucket list, a higher than a bucket list thing for a dream come true. But yeah, so it really started when I made the decision. I don't know, whenever it was, to do Q School this year, to kind of make myself vulnerable and put it out there, and like, hey, let's go compete again for real and document it all, which is kind of scary for like what we do, like to put results out there in the world and film it. And I mean, it's just kind of scary sometimes, actually all the time. So I was like, hey, let's do Q School this year. It'll be fun to tell the story of it, but also I feel like my game could be ready. So I signed up, and then I go to a Monday qualifier in the Wyndham, losing a playoff there, like shoot 67, 66, and like my first PGA Tour qualifier in 5 years, and like a real tournament with nerves. And I'm like, holy cow, like I just shot some really good numbers. This is awesome. Maybe my game is pretty good. Go to pre-qualifying of Q School, 66, 67, 68, win that. And at that time, like all while being pretty nervous the entirety of it. Then go to first stage, shoot 8 under, or I don't know, what is 8 under? Yeah, 8 under for the 4 rounds, finish 8th place, make it by 4 or 5 strokes. And again, all the while, 72 holes of being nervous and uncomfortable, but still executing golf shots. So all that to say, I was heading into a PGA Tour event, even though I knew I'd be way more nervous and way more uncomfortable than I've ever been. I knew deep down that I could hit shots and play some good golf and score well while being very stressed out. So at the baseline, I was more confident than I would have been had it not been for Q School, for sure. And so, we go into the week, we're confident, we're playing good. Like Wesley's like, dude, you're playing great. Like go in the mindset of maybe not to win, but like to hang and compete with these guys. Like you're that good. So I'm like, okay, well, why not? And so, but at the same time, I went in it like knowing that regardless of what I shot, I was going to have the most fun out of anyone in the field. I was going to enjoy it. We're going to film a YouTube video. Like I'm just going to be me, like except inside the ropes of PGA Tour events. So, we go through the practice rounds, playing some dang good golf, like just right where I left off, nothing special, but like not making any mistakes. And I'm like, we're ready. But then Thursday comes, good warm up. And that's when it starts, like, you're warming up for a tour event. You see all the guys, they get TrackMans all the range, people like grinding. I'm like, oh boy, it's getting real. Yeah, that's
I was going to ask, was that the distinct moment where it felt real? Because I know there's always a moment when it's real. Was that it for you?
It probably was that warm up, but as funny as it sounds, like we're in a practice round, I think Tuesday, and I'm playing with Fred Biondi on the back nine because Wesley knees were hurting a little bit, so he went in, and he's an NCAA champ, like absolute stud, but he's 22 years old. All right. Yeah. And I'm playing with him. I'm like, all right, George, just don't make a fool of yourself. Like, I don't want to hit it. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Who cares if you hook it 40 yards left of the green with a 5-iron? This guy is not going to care. But like, it was kind of that moment that I was like, hey, these guys are doing it for a living. These are like PGA Tour players. And, I'm kind of make YouTube videos, but still that's when the moment was like kind of real. But Thursday morning, you're going to do the warm up. You're like, I mean, you can't back out of it. You can't, like, you're going to go to that first tee and tee off. And boy, you're walking there. You're like, all right, it's time. But again, it felt like every other tournament. Nerves were about the same, except a little bit more amplified. But I'm taking my practice swing and making my last kind of look into the ball. And then something completely different. I'm walking to the ball. I'm like, this is a feeling like I've never felt before. Like it was like weightless. Like it wasn't the normal like heart beating through your eyes that usually when I get really nervous, like different things have always been the same. But this one was different. It was like a light. I was watching myself from third person. floating. Who knows? I honestly don't know. I can't describe it, but it was wild. And I hit that tee shot and kind of melted because as soon as I hit it, I was like, oh, straight, thank goodness. And I was like, this weight was lifted off my shoulders. And then that's like the first pinch me moment. It was like, hey, you're a PJ, like not a full card PGA Tour player, but you're now a PGA Tour player.
Absolutely.
And I was like, let's freaking go. This is amazing. I had the biggest smile on my face walking down, and that led right in to me hitting a wedge shot to 20 feet and making it for birdies. And I was like, how you can't make, like, I looked over, I can't remember who I looked over. I was like, you can't make this up. First hole of my PGA Tour career, make birdie. And I could say that Wesley have a leg up on him because he did not birdie his first hole. So it's like, this is amazing.
That's great.
That's like hitting a home run your first at bat in Major League Baseball.
Actually, you know what? I just not thought. So my dad in the PGA Championship, his first PGA Tour event, he birdied his first 2 holes, and I did the same thing.
That's cool.
So dang it! I thought I'd have the ultimate hey guys, man, dang.
Regardless, though,
well,
you still got a bird. But so that's incredible. So you have a little out of body experience, but then you know, whatever instinct or whatever takes over. Mm-hmm. You managed to make it through those shots, and then after that, how did the rest play out? Once you got out there, did you settle into a rhythm? Did things become a little bit more, normalized at that point?
Not really. I never really did because, again, I don't know. I mean, I think the first round, it definitely I defaulted back to how I've been playing. It really felt the same. Like everything felt the same. But the ball, I was making swings. Balls were going right in front of me, staying in between the trees. Misses were maybe just in the rough or just barely off. So I knew it. Like with what I had, it never was going to get too far off. So I was never really worried. It was just kind of nervous, more nervous on every shot than I was in pre-qualifying or even first stage for that matter. It was just a little bit more. But again, I defaulted back. My mind was good. I was confident. I was like, hey, let's after I birdied the first 2 holes, okay. Your game's good. Just settle down. Like that was the biggest thing for me is just trying to be take it slow and not all right, yards, I got 125, 135 at the back and going fast. Hey, just take a deep breath and keep everything as slow as possible just so to counteract the I guess the norm or the tendency of to just go really fast and kind of get quick with decisions and whatever. So we're playing solid. I knew I was, and that was really cool because it was probably more affirming than anything that hey, you can do this at this level. And the cool, we'll talk about it more, but and my game never felt as good as it did in the qualifying or first stage and pre-qualifying. It felt just something was a little off, but I had to just fight through it and just not worry about it and just, hey, we're going to go through our routines. We're going to hit swing our swing. I know it doesn't feel great and it's not what you'd want, but this is what we got. So let's just roll with it. And it was really cool to see that even with all that I still was executing and hitting shots where I was looking and, making pars, making birdies. But yeah, so we get through the first round, 69. And I was like, holy, 2 under par 60. We kept the 60 streak going in tournaments. I think we had it 3 in a row or so. This is 4 in a row. But then B, it's that was really cool. It could have been lower, yes, but at the same time, we were 3 under through 8 holes. We made an awful bogey on 9. We didn't freak out. We just hey, let's just keep it going. Let's be patient. It's not the end of the world. Hit some really good shots. On hole 16. I mean, 5. It's a 210-yard par 3, water left. Grandstand just right. It's just a scary freaking it's a scary hole. One of the scariest holes I've ever played. And hit a 5-iron up there, 20 feet. And I'm like, God, that was amazing. You kind of, it's one of those holes where you're thinking about it from on Monday when you get there. You're like, please just let me find dry land. If I make a bogey, that's fine. But on that first round to hit the shot and execute it, I'm like, all right, that was cool. So 69 in the first round, and at that point we're kind of could have been better, but hey, let's go make some noise.
Yeah, and how does this in any way, or what perspective can you give us outsiders of what this changes for you, or what did you learn about the guys who do this week in and week out? You know what I'm saying? Being able to get in there and play with these guys who do have their card and are doing this. We hear about those guys having a different gear. They'll be able to travel and play in multiple different courses like this. Was there something unique that you saw playing with a field like that?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to keep on going. We'll get to the cut, then I'll answer that question. So, just because I love talking about this. So we're 2 over. So we talked about the first round. Let's go to the second round. We're 2 over par through 7 holes, right? So we're even par for the tournament. And I'm like, well, I guess this is the fairy tale. It's kind of over, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm playing good. You might could squeeze in 5 birdies coming down the stretch. Like, I don't know, maybe. Well, then,
Right.
But again, it's cool that it kind of ties in, but like I've been having the same thinking the same way. I've been playing my game. I didn't change my game plan just because I was on a PGA Tour event. I played my old man, boring, kind of playing to my strengths. And I hit 2 iron to 20 feet on a par 5 where everyone's hitting like driver 6 iron, make eagle. So that gets me to 2 under with 10 to play. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe shoot. That was a sick eagle, but like kind of, we shoot 3 under the back. Who knows? Well, then I kept plotting along, hit good shots, make a birdie on 2, go to 3 under. We go to 5, hit it to 4 feet, make birdie there. So that gets me to 4 under. And I'm like, at that point, we got four holes to go, and I know the cut's between 5 or 6. Like, I mean, let's freaking go. Like, why just keep doing our thing, and if we make the cut, whatever. Well, then par 5-7, lace a 3 iron to 25, 30 feet on a really difficult par 5, in my opinion, and almost make it for eagle. So we make a tap and birdie, and we get to 5 under. And again, it's just really cool that I was even in that position, make 2 great pars coming in, and we make the cut. But that will kind of wrap up the first 2 rounds. But it was just a cool thing as a golfer, and especially my position, that I was able to just stick to my game plan, not be like so overwhelmed by the moment that I couldn't think and like freak out that we made the cut in the tour event. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But going back to your question.
Well, did you have the real quick question for that? Did you have any intention then, or was it already in your mind set, turned off to not make any changes to your strategy? Like, so what I mean is were you looking up at that leaderboard and saying, as we're talking about kind of an idea of where you need to be for the cut, were you going to say, I'm going to keep my strategy no matter what, or I might alter it a bit if I feel like I need to get there to make a cut? How did you kind of do that calculation?
Yeah, every round you kind of have some like audibles you can pull, but I was just going to stick to, if I didn't have a good yardage, we're going to not fire at the pin. If we're going to play this hole a certain way, and just, if I make birdie, great. But no, we didn't. We just kept doing what I was doing. Same irons off the tee, same everything. Like, even might have played even a little more conservative on like coming down, just to make sure I was comfortable hitting the shot at hand. And not trying to force it and said, oh, let's hit 3 iron here to get a lob wedge in. It's like, no, I don't like that. Let's hit 5 iron or 4 iron. So I know my pitch and wedge, or I know my irons are good. If I have pitch and wedge or 9 iron, I'm fine with that. And so I think I honestly did a way better job of playing my strengths no matter what, instead of like letting, we need to make birdies. We need to be aggressive. Let's try to squeeze one up here on this hole and get a little closer. So that was really cool. Again, as a golfer, and someone who is, I guess, now doing it a little more professionally than I was, a year ago, that I was able to say that I did that. I executed a game plan or stuck to a game plan. But yeah, so now going back to your last question, that was actually really good one. I just had to go on a roll first 2 rounds. But yeah, I think actually can ask it again. That was a good one.
What I was wondering is, like, we always hear about the tour players and the guys who are doing it week in, week out with their card, having a little bit of a different, whether it's a mindset, a different gear, whatever you want to call it. You getting to experience it firsthand, being in the field with other PGA Tour players, which I know you've been around before, so you've got some experience. But generally speaking, what is it that you see or maybe saw firsthand there that kind of separates those guys who have those card, and what can you learn from it?
A lot of those guys, honestly, were just very serious. And I guess we'll talk not on the negative side. Like, they didn't look like they had enough fun, if we're being honest. Like, it's just like it was like, now what Wesley's is a I guess not an exception, but because he's one of the, like, statistically and just, he's 180th on money. It's one of the worst players on tour. I think he's obviously, in my opinion, when he's on, he's one of the best. But like, if you just look, he's 180, so obviously there's 170 guys that had a better year than him, but he's having so much more fun than every single one of them out there, it seems. That's a stretch, but like, I'd say most of the guys, he's having way more fun. He looks like he enjoys what he's doing as a job. And that's the big, like, one of the interesting things. I'm like, golly, like, have some fun. Like I was out there just having the time of my life, having fun. Now again, I'm not on the full-time grind like some of these guys are, but now on that also, or I guess kind of that coincides with that. It's like they're able to lock in and take it so seriously and make the little things matter so much that their attention to detail was very impressive. And again, part of my personality is I don't want to have that. I want to just be loose, have fun. Like I'm not going to use a track man. I'm not going to be getting all technical because I would rather err on the side of, the fun side, the creative side, and just playing golf instead of worrying about numbers and man, my pitch wedge is going 140 this week and not 142. I'm like, who cares? Like, why do we need to be so dialed in? But no, I think that is the cool thing I saw. But also one thing that I guess will give me confidence is, I played 4 rounds out there, and looking at the guys, how they hit it and some of this, the stats and where I rank for the week is like, I am just as good as most of those guys out there.
Right.
And I feel like my game wasn't even, it was like a B- for the week. I feel like now, again, I was able to get it and play and do some things, but it didn't feel like I was in control of everything or certain irons. It was just a crapshoot where it was going to go. Putter wasn't as good as it has been. So you take all that into account. I'm like, man, like I really can hang with these guys. And it's like it's not as like pretty as you think. Again, I knew this, but a lot of these guys hit a lot of bad shots, just like all of us do. It's not always stripe fest. Like they do dumb things. They make bad decisions. They hit awful shots. And so that's one of the things that taken away is like, you don't have to play perfect golf. Like you don't need to be perfect out there. And I think
see how that has to be a huge, I'm just kind of living it through you as you're saying it, how that's got to be a confidence builder. Cause I could see if it was the other way, if you felt like you had your A+ game, that might be more difficult because now you feel like that's what I need in order to compete. But just as you said, having your B-, which your, to your personal level of your B- game, and you're in there making it to the weekend. Geez, that's got to be a bigger confidence booster than feeling like you have to be on that razor's edge of playing your very best golf to hang in there.
Yeah. So
George,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask on that note, because we were talking about like a full grind week. These guys, they land on, they get there on a Monday, and if they make the cut, they're playing all the way to Sunday, and you're just golf. You shot a 72 on Sunday. Not that that's a terrible score, but did stamina fade? Did you run out of gas? Was wind picking up? What happened on Sunday?
All of the above. I was there on Monday. Obviously, the most excited player in the field, except some of the Monday qualifiers or the local exemptions, local qualifiers that this was their first ones. Like they are probably just as excited as me, but maybe not. Maybe I was more excited than some of these guys. Who knows? But so like I was already had all this energy that like I was like, let's go. And so played 18 Monday and basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday played 9, walked 9. So I'd already spent a lot of time at that golf course. Played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, walking, and I think some of it probably was that, but the wind was up. Like it was the hardest wind of the week. So a little slot had 3 putts. I think I could feel myself being a little. I felt good physically. Like I've been doing a good job staying, working out, staying in shape, taking care of that part of life. But I get there. It's just something. I was a little more tense on the green. Just something. You could tell that you're playing for a paycheck, and like that like, well, I don't know if I shoot X amount of strokes better, it could be thousands more dollars, and so you're kind of like, I didn't really care much about that honestly, but like the thoughts were in there, so it probably paid a little bit into the like tension on the greens, and because physically, like I missed one green for the entire day, like I think one chip shot the whole day, and 3 like probably count as missed greens, but they were on the fringe and I putted them. So like those are hit greens, but only to chip one time the final round of a PGA Tour event with the highest winds, the toughest winds of the week, shows you that it wasn't physically. It was just like getting the ball in the hole, the thing that like you really need to have just no tension, be free. I didn't do a good job with that, and I think that seeing that you're the first 3 days you can't make a paycheck. But the last day, when you're like when you finish, you're going to see what you make, and I think that played a little bit to it, because I could tell like some of the putts I left everything short for the day, was tentative, and it like culminated. The last hole, downhill, not easy putt, but just like if you 3-putt it, just make a stroke. And I was like trying to just lag it up there on the 18th hole. Like, what are you doing, man? So like that just shows you that next time when I'm in that position, I will be like on the greens, especially trying to be way more free, not have as much tension or care about making or missing. But yeah, I think definitely the last day, some of the fatigue, the mental, the physical could definitely play a part in that for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt that some of that's going to come with experience. I mean, it's
no, for sure.
It has to. So talk about like getting prepped for this event. I know you head out to Bermuda a little earlier. You played some rounds out there. Micah, Grant, we got to watch the Buster Jack boys. How much of that was prep versus your other job, which is as a content creator? So how were you walking the line there?
It was like prep work. Like I roll it on to one. Really, it's why I'm playing so well right now. It's like I'm doing a good job not making this pro golf thing like something that it's not. Making this big old like, oh, I got to try harder because this PGA Tour. I got to try harder because it's Q school. And like I'm out there to film videos, and like I'll do my job. Like I'll do some, I guess, notes and some, I guess, a little more detailed work like throughout the round, but nothing crazy. But no, this trip, or the prior trip was solely to create content and make fun videos and just tell the story of the Butterfield Bermuda Championship and help the tourism department and just like be there to create great content for them and shine a light on the amazing place that Bermuda is. And it's cool because again, our job is to create content. We want to deliver, like when people, like especially on this level, like they give us a sponsor exemption. Hey, yes, I'm a good player, but they wanted to use our platform that we built to shine a light on the tournament on Bermuda, and like I want to deliver a great product for them. And so it was fun to go over there and create content, but also it was fun that I knew that I was going to get 2 rounds at the golf course I'm going to be playing a PGA Tour event on. That will be a massive help for me walking into the week a little more comfortable, instead of going into it blind and being like, oh gosh, like this is a hard hole. And so it was honestly invaluable. Who's to say I would have missed the cut if I wouldn't have been there? But I really believe that without playing there, I don't make the cut, because like I was able to go into the week comfortable on the golf course. God played it. And yeah, so like the 2 weeks and like, I guess kind of piggybacking on that, let's just create the whole story. This whole thing is crazy because we go over there to film a YouTube video or a couple of YouTube videos, create content. Well, we kicked off the whole dang trip with a freaking hole-in-one. Yeah. We make a hole-in-one, which goes absolute viral. And so everyone in Bermuda is like, oh, saw your hole-in-one, and like it's amazing, a hole-in-one. So like I was able to deliver a hole-in-one to this event that gave me a sponsor exemption into the tournament, and then roll into the YouTube Championship, which numbers have been doing great, and the people absolutely love the videos. That one came down to the wire. Like it goes into a playoff, and so all these things like we're delivering them great content, which again, it's just like you can't make it up. And then that rolls into the PGA Tour event, the actual event of us, playing well. And there's some other things that I don't know if we'll get into it later that go on during the tournament that just we kept like delivering socially, but also like delivering like personally, professionally. So it literally is the most wild like story that you can't make up how the whole like I guess 3 weeks went for this tournament.
Look, there's no doubt, whether it be on your own channels or what we saw the PGA Tour sharing, like you've definitely tapped into something that's hit a nerve that people really enjoy following this. Like we talked about before, your personality, your story, your journey, there's so much to it. But, talk about shining light. You're right. Let's talk about that content for a second, because the YouTube Championship, the most recent one, it's coming up on 1 million views. Like, so clearly you guys you're doing something right. And the question I'm wondering, and I think what a lot of people are wondering, is how much more of this we're going to see. And one thing we're seeing is the incredible success of you when you pair up with, Grant, Micah, the Buster Jack boys, all of that. I think what's on everyone's tongue is like, we're wondering, are we possibly seeing the formation of the next big, YouTube super group here?
What are we looking at here? That's just, honestly,
when you see so much success and so many of us want to see you guys together, like what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to film more. Like, that's the goal. Like, the goal is to keep creating content together, because we, A, we know people enjoy watching, but B, we just really enjoy like spending time with each other, filming and playing. It's something like Wesley mentioned it, I think, in one of the press conferences. Like, hey, like filming the 18-hole video with the boys was some of the most fun that he's had on the golf course, and you can't like replace that. He would almost rather do that than grind on the PGA Tour. And so, like, something about all of our personalities just mesh so well with, you know, Wesley and Grant and Micah and myself and the Busted Jack guys. You know, we're all at a level good enough to like rib each other and like, you know, talk trash and also play some good golf. I mean, Grant took Wesley to a playoff, you know, and like Wesley PGA Tour winner. And so like we're all the game's competitive, but also the personalities are all make it for fun content. But at the same time, we all enjoy, and I think it comes through in the videos, we really do enjoy being around each other and have fun. And it's something you can't force. And so that's why we want to keep filming together. We want to keep doing these videos. I think the Busted Jack one, I don't know when it's going to come, hopefully in the next couple months, but we'll have one. They'll have their YouTube championship to kind of culminate the series. But yeah, I think that's we want to keep doing it. And we're definitely going to keep doing it.
You can't force it, and the other thing you can't do is you can't fake it. You can see as a viewer how genuine it is. I remember the one clip, I forget all the details, but it was, you know, Micah was ribbing you about you playing a cut into one of the holes. just that you know, that banter between you guys is just, it's so organic. It's fun to watch. So yeah, definitely excited to see some more of that. All right, guys, we'll get you right back to our interview with George Bryan in just a second. And of course, we're going to talk about the future on the PGA Tour, where he's headed. We've got a lot more great questions for him. But first, I want to take a quick word from our sponsors. We want to start by thanking Titleist. And guys, listen, we all aspire to outperform the player we were yesterday. And it takes practice, commitment, and trusting your golf ball to perform the way you want it to on every type of shot. So the Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1 X offer advanced technology and performance that rewards your best swings and helps you shoot lower scores. Both models are exceptionally long. They deliver that consistent flight and unrivaled control around the green. So the Pro V1, that's your best combination of distance, spin, and feel in the game, and it delivers a penetrating ball flight. The Pro V1 X, it's a little bit higher, spins a little bit more in the short game, but it still gives you that low spin on longer shots and helps you maximize your distance. So find out more about the Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1 X, including which is the best choice for your game, by visiting Titleist.com.
All right, it's going to be about 70 degrees here in New Jersey, but it's not going to last forever. We know that. I mean, it's going to be cold again next week, and the cold is here to stay. And we've been talking about Thermo Series from FootJoy for a while, and for a good reason. We love this. We love the apparel. It's the most advanced apparel layering system in the game of golf. I'll tell you why. Thermo Series offers a range of distinct layering pieces for all different conditions, designed to be worn together. So it allows you to effortlessly adapt as the weather changes. I mean, it's important. It's technically advanced gear. It keeps you warm and comfortable. I mean, that's the key. But even more important, it allows full range of motion. These things are so comfortable. Like I said, they keep you warm, and you can get through the golf swing no problem. Check out the whole lineup for yourself. They're going to make great gifts, too, to pick up for someone this holiday season. Go to FootJoy.com. Check out the entire Thermo Series lineup. And, guys, as the day evolves, now you can evolve with it. Hey, guys, who wants a golf simulator out there? Anyone? I'm sure we all do.
You talked about it getting cold. Everybody's getting
ready.
Right? Yeah.
And everyone's starting to dabble in this space. And I love it because they're becoming more affordable, attainable. And Rapsodo is making it even easier with their bundles. Yeah. Now, you and I, we had the opportunity to get one of these bundles in studio and build it, and we're going to give it away to someone.
We are.
By the way,
remarkably, we got the whole thing put together in under 2 hours.
How great was that?
Yeah.
It was simple to do. It's just the two of us. That video is going to come out on our main channel, and you're not going to want to miss it because, A, the quality of the material, the launch monitor that comes with it, everything that's bundled up for you, it's easy to do. And now what's even great is they are doing 10% off. It's a great deal off their SIM enclosures. 10% on a SIM enclosure. It's big money. You have to check it out for yourself. This is on their website, but it's not going to be out there forever. December 12th is the last date for this deal. And during this time period, you're also going to get, which is cool, a dozen of their RPT golf balls.
Which are so key when you're playing the simulator indoors. And I think the key word here is definitely bundle. I think a big intimidation for a lot of us is trying to piece together our own sim and making sure we've got the right components, the right projector, everything. Here with the Rapsodo bundles, you buy it all like in a couple of clicks, and you've got this thing sent to your house.
And it's simple. And they have all different sizes for the different spaces that you have, because all of the spaces in our homes and places are different. So guys, check it out for yourself. Go to Rapsodo.com and take advantage of that discount while you can. Go build yourself the perfect simulator bundle this winter.
All right, guys, let's get right back to our interview with George.
The short content throughout the week's been awesome, by the way. Like, obviously from the PGA Tour and all the stuff they've been sharing. But I got to ask you this. By the way, who is this stud? Your PGA Tour profile photo. What's the story?
Bad.
How old is that, George Bryan? Looks like they didn't refresh it, huh?
Well, it's from PGA. That one was from PGA Tour Canada. So I played Latin America and Canada 2 years in a row, which, is PGA Tour sanctioned. So you take pictures and they have profiles. Yep. And that was my PGA Tour Canada. I remember taking it, and it was in the middle of I wanted to do. It was right after I got married, and I had the trendy haircut. Had the Skechers, and it's it was great. So bad.
I think one of the comments. It was, what does this guy do for a living? Wrong answers only. I love it.
Yeah, and I read through most of them. Golly, I just wanted I wanted the flow. I wanted the glasses and just something.
Yeah, man.
But that's what we got. Yeah, it's
you
terrible,
might have to keep that one forever, man. If you're a superstitious guy, I would keep that forever.
Like I said, it just adds to the whole relatable story of the whole journey. But so what's kind of next? So a couple of things. Like, one, we talked about the success of having the content lead up, the sponsors exemption. That's clearly is a win-win for both you and the tour. We have, obviously, you're still the Q school that you're going through. What's next? Is the goal to do more of the sponsor exemptions? Does the tour, this experience that you've had, does that in some way change or leverage anything for what you're doing with Q school? Where can we really kind of see this journey continuing?
Yeah. I mean, I had that's what I've told, people, or people assume, and I got to ask a question there at the tournament. They're like, well, now that you're playing well, I guess you're going to spend less time doing YouTube. I'm like, heck no. I don't this is not YouTube is what I'm going to be doing for a long time. I enjoy it. It's fun to do. And so I'm not, even if I win a major championship, if I win a major, I'm not going to stop doing YouTube. It'll be, that's the goal is to, I'd hope that some of these tournaments and tournament directors saw what, the numbers and what the impact that me and Wesley could have on a tournament and deem it, where they're like, hey, we want you to come be a part of our tournament now. Because that would be amazing to give it another go at it. And I think, me and Wesley offer a good product out there. But also my game was, I think it was big to show these guys and show these tournaments that I can play and hang with these guys. So it's not just they're giving a spot to a YouTuber that's just going to create content and be out after 2 days. Right. And no, it's I can actually compete. So it makes sense. So that's the goal. Is hopefully a tournament sees this and hey, we want George here and Wesley. And so that'll be. But again, we're not going to try to do anything crazy to hey, I want to be on the PGA Tour. Give me 10 sponsor exemptions. No, we're just going to keep creating videos. If people want to have us part, then that's great. Now, will we try a little bit and maybe write some letters now and be able to have this kind of this week to show them and give them and provide them and show hey, this is what we can do. Q School's coming up. We got second stage, which is in 2 weeks. Then heck, we might not even need it. Top 5 at Q School finals, get a PGA Tour card. And so top 15 in 2 weeks advance to finals at Q School, which then we'll be competing for Korn Ferry Tour cards and 5 PGA Tour cards. So I mean, heck, last week was a massive confidence boost, and it's only gives me more confidence going into a very stressful second stage of Korn Ferry Q School. So I mean, heck, play well there, get a card, and then we're off the races next year. And again, I still have no idea what I would do because I don't know if I could play 5 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row on a tour. I just don't think I could do it. I want to be home. I want to spend time with family. I want to, again, film videos, go do trips with Micah, with Grant, Bus Jack boys, maybe me and Wesley play some PGA Tour players. And so balancing it all, but it will be YouTube. It'll be YouTube first, professional golf second, like it has been, until I somehow win a PGA Tour event, then maybe it would be 50-50.
Well, we're still pulling for you to win that major.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So beyond that, then, is there anything else that you can kind of tease us or tell us for 2024 plans content-wise? Is there, obviously, as you said, a lot of this is going to be generated on if some other tour events have you in there, and hopefully you have a lot of success with that, which I would imagine you would after the success we saw in Bermuda. But beyond that, anything that you're excited about for 2024 that you can kind of tease us with?
Really nothing that we don't have anything planned as of yet. But I think what it does do, like this last week, has showed me that maybe this dream of playing, not playing on the PGA Tour full time, but playing PGA Tour events, or heck, maybe even playing the PGA Tour full time. Who knows? Like, it's not dead. Like, I thought, when probably 2013, I thought, my game wasn't good enough. I'd kind of written it off. Like, the tour, it's probably just not going to ever happen. It might, but it's probably never going to happen. But like, what it showed me is like, well, hey, maybe I'm just catching my stride, and maybe I hadn't even like actually got to my best level of golf yet. And so I'm excited to play some more, or be a little more intentional with pro golf next year. But at the same time, like, I'm excited to tell the story of it. And like, now I feel like that we're us, Bryan Bros is not just a one-sided, hey, this is Wesley's journey on pro golf, and it's my kind of quasi journey. Like, I'll play in some tournaments, and I'll play some tournament vlogs for you guys. But now it's actually like, well, heck, maybe there is something to this pro golf that I can document, and I can take people on alongside us. And that's what excites me, is that my game, it kind of motivates me to be a little more intentional with some things, to keep the pro golf side a little more fresh. Whereas last 3 years, it's been like, if I play a tournament, that's great, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And keep my game halfway sharp in case I want to play in a tournament. Next year, it's going to be like, no, I want to keep the game sharp because I am going to play in tournaments.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And by the way, if that's not busy enough, you also are building a golf course.
Oh yeah.
If we forget about that too, the busiest man in YouTube golf, maybe might be the label we might have to slap on you, but. Yeah, so there's that we can. Yes. We'll be following along with that too next year, I'm sure.
I guess next. What is today? Today, maybe Monday, or it might push it back to the following Monday. But me and Wesley played 9-hole match at Selena. So that'll be the first time people have seen like greens being putted on, golf course playable. It's actually really, it's really dope. The 11 holes are finished, greens are done, fairways are done, bunkers are getting. I think halfway there. So it's going to be cool because people hadn't seen it in a while. To see what it is now versus what it was, 4 or 5 months ago is actually pretty insane. And it's going to be a really, really good golf course come, summer. Hopefully it may take a little longer to get the last, I guess, the back 8 holes finished up, but it's coming along.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get down there.
Very real over there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
George, I have a question. I've been dying to ask a tour player this question. I just haven't had the courage to do it. But when you win money on tour, did you get that prize yet? Like, how long does it take to get the prize?
Well, I'm sure. I think if I would have signed up for the transfer or the direct deposit, it would have been there.
Like the direct, yep.
I wanted, if I did make the cut, I wanted to get a check from the PGA
Exactly.
Tour.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
I'm gonna mobile deposit that sucker and frame, and like where I can hold on to that
Absolutely.
check. But so I'm eagerly waiting to see, because I just want to open it up and PGA Tour and see.
That's
and have
it. I won money on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. Of course, all I can think is like Happy Gilmore. I'll take one of those big checks. You drive around with all the big checks in the back.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be you. Yeah. All right, listen, George, appreciate the time today. This is all incredibly exciting stuff. And like I said, it was just so much fun for us to just follow along, see you make the cut. And it just like, I think you made all of us who were anywhere around the YouTube golf community proud with what you did. So really incredible stuff. And thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Absolutely. I thought we had some user questions. Didn't you have some questions you want to fire off?
Yeah, well, most of these actually, a lot of them come from
the users. Yeah.
So, okay. I was about to say,
I'll tell you,
you get off that easily.
Listen, I could hit you again with it. I want to get even more direct. The biggest question everybody asking is if this is going to be formalized as a super group.
Oh
with you and the boys. I mean,
that's not in the works yet. So, but we're definitely going to keep filming videos, and because again, you saw the success of the videos and how they did, but also how much fun we had. So yeah. But of course, I'll read the comments. That's what everyone like. Hey, you guys first good. I'm like, well, it's not. I mean, we just want to create videos like everyone. It doesn't have to be this competition. Just create fun stuff and put it on the internet.
That's
You
it.
open up the questions, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. But regardless, like I said, everyone's enjoying it. So keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome stuff. And appreciate your time coming on the show today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. I enjoyed chatting with y'all.